looking to inspire your primary pupils with something more than conventional painting and drawing materials? Well, today on a Resource Review ICT special, we're looking at 3 resources for creative arts that might wean them off the crayons and paints. They are a website that showcases the work of contemporary artists, software for enhancing images, and a graphics tablet. Recommending today's resources is Kevin Matheson, a freelance art education consultant. On the panel today is Year 6 teacher and art and design coordinator Anna Pettit from Engain Primary School in the London Borough of Havering, and Adrienne Jones, a freelance education consultant. Now, I can't vouch for his artistic talents, but our ICT investigator Matthew Tosh's trials of the resources will surely be masterpieces. Well, Kevin, let's begin with your first resource. It's called Artisan Cam. Let's have a look at it and tell us why you like it.
Artisan Cam is a really great resource for schools because it provides us access to the work of contemporary artists and designers. Each term they have a different artist. It might be a painter, a ceramic artist or a textile designer. And pupils can actually go online and have a look at the artists working live in the studio.
So what is it about it that you like? I mean, there must be lots of free websites out there.
I think it's terrific because not only does it give it access to the work of these artists, but it also gives us lots of background information on how they create their art, help for teachers, and it's got some interesting workshop ideas for pupils to engage with too.
Well, let's now go over to our first visit to the test lab and see what Matthew made of Artisan Cam.
If you've ever looked at a piece of artwork in a museum and wondered how on earth the artist has created it, then this website might help solve some of those mysteries. The Artisan website features 1 artist per term and allows you to watch a piece of artwork in creation. Now, this screen here gives you an introduction to the artist and their work, and if you click on the picture, it takes you to a video.
In this painting, I was just in Japan, and I took these images of these amazing sort of rock formations.
Now, if you let the video continue, you get more interviews and some time-lapse photography of the artists producing their work. The bar at the top allows you to view some of the techniques and influences of the artist.
Well, I'm just about to ink the black area again to make it a deeper and richer black.
So essentially, this is giving you an insight into how the artist works. Now, at the top, there are some links to the workshops. Now, the workshops have taken place in other schools. You can have a look on this one here.
What we're going to do now is I want you to come round the material with all of your drawings and we're going to start working on the fabric.
The gallery is good because it allows you to view the artist's work in a little bit more detail. You can see this picture here. The teachers section gives you curriculum links. There's all-important workshop information, and here children can actually email the artist with some questions. Now, all of the previously featured artists are archived on here with their videos as well, and you can watch videos about weaving, pottery and also setting up a display in a museum. If we return to the home page, you can see there's this Kids Zone section, and this allows children to have a go at various activities. There are some interactive games. Now, I do recommend having a really good internet connection when you view this site, particularly because there's a lot of video. There is the option to go for a low bandwidth version, but this reduces the definition of the videos, and unless you were looking at some of my own artwork, you want to get as much detail as possible.
How do you think teachers are going to get the most out of it? I mean, is this a pupil resource, a teacher resource? How are they going to use it?
I think it's a resource both for teacher and pupil, really. One of the national curriculum requirements is that pupils get access to works of art from different times and places and different cultures, but also contemporary art. And in fact, the access to contemporary art is probably something that schools find very difficult. But certainly a site like this really kind of opens that whole area up.
Anna, what do you think?
Well, this is an excellent resource. The children really enjoyed using it. They could receive emails from live artists, which is good, which is great, because it brings the artist into the classroom at no extra cost.
So how did you actually use this? I mean, did you have this on the whiteboard?
The children had their own tablets in front of them and they could all watch videos relevant to them, which is really good because it encourages their own learning as well.
And as a teacher, did you find it easy to get to grips with?
It's very easy to use, very easy, and the children picked it up straight away.
Fantastic. Well, Adrienne, what did you think of this resource?
I think it's the magical resource that any age would enjoy playing around with. And there's an activity where children can decorate a plate. So in a similar way to the artist Mike Eden.
Right, what we saw in the video.
And they can submit this then as part of a competition, and that's how they can get Mike Eden coming into their school for a day. If we just click on some of the tools here and start to spin the plate, it's possible to just deposit little lines on it like that. Now I've finished with that, don't want any more of those.
I see you've been playing with this,
Oh,
Adrienne.
I have. And then with the sponge effect, take that up there. So you can change the patterns on the formula on the plate.
Can I just clarify, this is something that you
No,
can...
I'm too busy playing with it.
This is something you do on the site, but you could also do this for real in the art
Yes.
studio.
Yep, this is by no means replacing real hands-on clay work, but it's something you could use in addition with...
Right, OK. Let's move on now to Kevin's second choice of resource. It's called Photoshop Elements. Tell us about it and why you like it.
Well, Photoshop Elements is a cut-down version of the larger Photoshop, which most of us have heard of. It's the industry standard for image manipulation. Photoshop Elements has got a number of the same tools, but they've taken out some of the high-end tools that the designer might need to bring the price down. So it's really good and it's really accessible for schools now. And here on the screen we can actually see an image done by a pupil. And you can see we started off with a picture of the Post Office Tower in London, and they've actually been able to cut and paste from other images themselves onto these kind of dinosaurs, which are actually little small plastic models.
Right.
So they've been able to kind of montage these images together to create this, you know, fantastic kind of surrealistic kind of scene of a battle over London.
Now, presumably there are some other image manipulation pieces of software, perhaps more aimed at primary children. Why do you think Photoshop Elements stands out? I
think the fact that Photoshop Elements has got a layer facility which allows you to combine different images together, like transparent sheets. Some of the kind of more child orientated sort of packages are perhaps very limited.
OK, well now let's have a look at it in a little more detail and go back to Matthew in the test lab.
Adobe Photoshop is well known in the graphics industry, but you'll be surprised how many features you get on the Elements version here. Now I'm going to open a picture that I want to do a little bit of work on. It's a little bit big at the moment. I could reduce it, or I can use the crop tool here on the left hand side. I just click on the picture, like that. That's the area I want to crop down to. And when I'm happy, I click on the tick. There we have it. Actually, the bit I want to work on is my shirt, so I'm going to introduce you to the Magic tool. This is a wonderful little device, and all you do is you just drag your pointer over the area you want to work on. Now, I am using the touchpad here. If I had a mouse, it would be a lot easier to do. Then the program analyses the picture and it works out the boundaries of the thing you've just highlighted. Now this is an incredibly powerful tool because if you look at the screen now, any special effects I apply will just be applied to my highlighted area. So I could have a fiddle over here. Look at that, changing the colour of my shirt. Now this Magic tool could be used to highlight somebody's head and to bring them out of one photo and put it into another. So here's a photo I did earlier. Now here's the photo I started with, here's the photo I pasted from, and this is what I achieved. Now I can actually click on Hermione and drag her across. I can actually rotate her a little bit, make her a little bit bigger, and there we have Hermione in the ICT lab. If I go back to my tie picture, I can apply some special effects to it. These filters here, there's all kinds of things you can try. You can see here this pencil effect on my face. We can try some fresco, or this poster edges. Some of them are more effective than others, and it's worthwhile experimenting to see what you can achieve. Now obviously Photoshop is quite an involved package and I've only had time to show you a couple of features. If you are going to use this with a primary class, it's probably worth focusing on a couple instead of trying to do the entire package.
Anna, what about your pupils? Did they pick it up OK?
They did. After a brief introduction, they explored the programme and they were excellent with it. Many of the tools are familiar to them because they've used Picture Manager a lot, especially in Year 6.
What kind of things did they produce?
They download photographs and they can just manipulate those photographs and add a wide range of effects onto them and colours. Great colour control management as well.
So Anna, now having had that experience, how do you think it would work best in a classroom setting?
It would work best in an ICT and art linked lesson, I think. Our unit in Year 6 has been all on photography, and using something like Photoshop would extend those skills to the next level for the children.
OK. Adrienne, are you a fan of Photoshop elements?
I am now, particularly now I've seen that picture, because that's great. You know, the children create that and then say, hey, you know, look what happened when I was in London. But what a fantastic thing for creative writing. Make a storyboard using images. So you say about art and ICT, but you've got literacy in here as well. And I think it's a fantastic tool, and it's worth spending time getting to know, purely because the children will be really motivated to actually write as a result of these images.
I mean, Kevin, do you see cross-curricular applications for this resource?
Absolutely, and if it was just used for art, I could understand the school not wanting to purchase it for all their machines, but I think we can get a lot of use in, you know, as you say, as creating storyboards for creative writing, in history, in geography, in RE.
Well, on that point, now let's move on to Kevin's third choice of resource. It's called the Velito 2 Pen Tablet. Kevin, what is this resource?
As most of us know them as graphics tablets, it's a tablet and a pen, replaces all the functions of the mouse. I mean, after all, the mouse isn't the most sensitive of drawing tools. So if we can just look on the screen, we can actually just open up this blank page and we can actually start drawing with the pen in a much more natural way than we could with the mouse. We then can just select a colour and we can change colour quite easily just by selecting different colours from the palette.
So this is obviously a much more
screen.
Natural style for pupils to use to create their digital images.
It's more akin to writing, isn't it? And using a pastel or an ordinary pencil.
Kevin, why this particular model? Are there others on the market?
There are lots of different kinds of tablets, but you know, at the price of around £34, £35, you know, it's very good value.
All right, well, not much time left, but Anna, what do you think?
It's so useful. It's a really beneficial resource because the children do have so much more control when drawing or cutting out an image. Much more, they can do that much more precisely. And if you don't have, say, a PC tablet in the school, then this is a good halfway solution to use with desktops or laptops.
OK, Adrienne?
Yes, I agree. It gets over the problem of the brick-like mouse. The only question I have about it is its robustness and how easy it would be just to lose the pen.
I suppose some of the earlier tablets had the pen connected, but that kind of defeated the object of having a freehand drawing tool. So I think it's a matter of actually, you know, making sure that you look after your resources.
A few classroom management issues maybe there. But, well, Kevin, 3 very popular resources today. Thank you so much. Just to recap, the 3 resources that we looked at were Artisan Cam, free website from the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. Photoshop Elements 4.0 from Adobe. And the Velito 2 Pen Tablet from Wacom Technology. For more information about any of the resources we've discussed, go to our website. It's teachers.tv/resource review, or email us, resourcereview@teachers.tv. I'd like to say a big thank you to our panel, to Kevin, to Anna and to Adrienne. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Resource Review. Bye-bye.